Hi folks, welcome to Talk About Topeka. I'm Chris Schultz. I'm here with Eric Johnson. He's the president of the MTAA, and we're at Topeka Regional Airport. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode, which is brought to you by the WIBW channels and the Break Room. Check it out at breakroomdowntown.com. This episode starts right now. Wow, this place looks great, Eric.
It's changed a little bit.
It has. I flew out when we had Allegiant here, and it was very dated. And I think you guys have done some great work in here.
It was a lot of brown, a lot of orange, a lot of worn out furniture, stained carpet, and we've changed that. Our staff has done a fantastic job, kind of updating everything that we have here.
Sure, a lot of the furniture looks great, and it looks like you guys are getting ready for the folks to come in. They're going to be moving in soon, right?
Yes, we are moving along. It's been quite a challenge because there was so much to do, but we're getting there. And you know, the staff for the airline is here starting to do some training, getting ready for that first flight on January 7th.
I think it's great. You'd been on our show, and this was back when you could make a very vague announcement about the idea of air service coming to Topeka, and it was very exciting at the time. And now we know that United is coming to Topeka. We know a lot of specifics. They're already selling tickets now online, and perhaps one of the coolest things is that Topeka now exists as a destination. If you go to Expedia, and I did today, I went there and tried to buy a ticket for February to go to New York out of Topeka, and we exist as a destination.
We are figuratively, but literally, on their map.
Yeah.
If you look at their onboard magazine, Topeka is in there, and I have a copy of that. It was exciting to see. You know, it's been a long time, a lot of talk, a lot of work, but January 7th.
This is really, really exciting. I want to take a look around this place as we're talking here. So we're going to have some terminals in here, or some little check-in desks right here in the terminal, I guess?
United will be at this counter.
Okay.
They still have their contractors that need to come in and prep the counter space behind the counter, do a lot of their office work. But as far as the airport is concerned, the only thing we have to do behind that counter right now is lay some carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
We're getting closer.
Exciting stuff.
Yes, it is.
And this is, of course, a great area to wait. What I think is interesting about whenever I had the opportunity to fly out of Topeka is that you parked right out front, you walked straight in the front door, you walked straight to the counter, and you just hung out for a little bit, you know, and then you went down here and you hopped right on the plane. It cut so much stress out of the picture of suddenly travel didn't become this burdensome thing where you had to figure out how you're going to get to Kansas City and how you're going to get back home, and it was much better.
Absolutely, and you know, that's what we've been talking about. It's all about easy. It's easy parking, it's easy commute, it's easy parking, it's easy walk from the parking lot to the terminal building, and there's no way you can get lost here. You walk in, there's the counter, and check-in is just around the corner.
It's right over here. Let's go back and check this area out over here. So how did you go about getting an airline to come to Topeka?
It was 7 years of considering our options. Really, well, 6 years of actually working the idea the best we could. And in the last 2 years, having the funds to provide a minimum revenue guarantee to an airline, and that is essential. Small communities, especially small communities that don't have existing service, have to share the risk with the airline in order to make it even an option, even to get them to consider it or talk to you. We have to take a walk in here.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
And this is how easy it will be for the screening operation. You know, as you saw, or as you know, at other large airports, there's times where you're going to have one central screening area and a very long line. Kansas City's not like that. It's broken down in a way that's fairly convenient, but it's still 75 miles away. This is one flight at a time going through here. It's a 50-seat regional jet. We have the TSA equipment already in place. Their staff is already building up to man this operation in the very near future.
Sure.
So it'll be ready to go and go through the screening process here, and then the waiting is within sight. The gate is within sight.
It's right there, yeah.
It's all about easy.
We're looking at 2 arrivals and 2 departures every day.
Yes.
So you can, depart early in the morning. You can depart in the afternoon. It really fits the schedule so that when you're going to be using Chicago as a hub, they've got so many daily flights all over the place that you really don't have a very long layover there.
Chicago was our best hub. The times that we have for departures from here fit very well into the system in Chicago. It couldn't have been better the way it worked out. So we have the 6 a.m. departure, and then we have a 3:14 departure. They fit well into that system. So again, it's all about easy.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how excited I am, because I always have to ask friends to drive me to the airport, and then I always feel guilty about it because they've got to turn around and drive right back. So the commute time for someone who's dropping a friend off at the airport and picking them up, they've got to spend 4 hours driving to make that happen for you. And then not to mention the time they have to take off work. They could be in for 6 hours to be able to get you to the airport and back.
Or the option was to pay for it. Pay for your parking there.
Yeah.
Our parking here is going to be very nice.
Yeah.
$5 for as long as you're gone. If you're on a 2-day trip, it costs $5. If you're on a 2-week trip, it costs $5.
I don't even know if you can park your car in Kansas City for $5 at all anywhere. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, folks. I mean, it's really the most convenient way, because if you were parking this close to the terminal in Kansas City, you'd be paying $22 a day.
Absolutely.
And this is $5 for 2 weeks if you want. It's amazing. I think it's really cool.
Yes. And I'm thrilled with it. It's been a lot of work.
Yeah.
But here it is, and what we have to offer through our market studies. We hired a consultant to help us with this process, and Sixel Consulting has done a fantastic job for us. But really, what they've discovered is the Topeka community, and not just the city of Topeka, but the area surrounding Topeka. We contribute nearly 1 million passengers through the Kansas City Airport on an annual basis. That's a lot of lost revenue
to and from, departures, arrivals.
Departures and arrivals, yep. So that's a lot of lost revenue for Kansas.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is, we don't expect to bring that 1 million back all at once. What we want to do is build that. We want to get a small piece of that, and we want to bring that service back to the capital city of Kansas.
It belongs here because it is the capital of Kansas.
Absolutely.
You think about it, times have changed enough. Gas prices are so high. The things that may have pulled air service away, what pulled it away initially? I mean, why did we stop having air service here?
Well, it's kind of a very long, complex, but breaking it down to the nuts and bolts.
Elevator speech of it.
The elevator speech, okay. Down and dirty. Okay. Deregulation in 1978 and the end of the Essential Air Service Program for Topeka. Now that still exists in other locations, but it costs too much here to use that Essential Air Service. So we had the wrong equipment, or we had the wrong hub, or we had to stop somewhere in between our city and the hub.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. So what we wanted to do with this, our primary goal is the package. It's the right hub with the right equipment, the right times, and we pulled all that together. United has been a fantastic partner, and we've only been in this for just a short while.
Yeah.
But they made all of that work.
Yeah.
And now it's up to the community to use the service.
Now, when I went on to Expedia, I booked a trip because I've been looking, as I said earlier, to go to New York. And for me, in every scenario that I could really figure out, I tried to find a trip where I could fly from Topeka to New York with just that stop in Chicago right there. So, and it was about an hour layover in Chicago. And then I took the trip as if I had driven to Kansas City and flown to find out how much the ticket would be. And from Topeka, it was a little bit more money, but of course, we're in the air longer because we're going somewhere else. Right. Made perfect sense. But the commute time and every solution I could come up with, whether it was how much money you spend on gas and tolls versus how much money you spend to park your car versus how much you inconvenience your friends, it was hands down a much better deal for me to fly out of Topeka.
If you factor all the cost, so you have a true comparison of cost, Topeka is a very good option.
Yeah, it truly is, folks. I can't even tell you enough. The next time, what we have to do really is to reprogram that chip in our heads, because we've been driving to Kansas City so long to fly, and right. We just have to reprogram that chip and start thinking about Topeka as a very rational and probably the best option that we have to travel to other places. We've got an option now that hasn't currently been on the table, and we've got to use that option. So
it's a fantastic choice. We'll see that beginning January 7th. Nonstop service to Chicago and more than 100 cities beyond that, just one stop.
Yeah, really exciting stuff, Eric. And I thank you so much for coming on our show and letting us come out here and see this place, first of all. But
no, I welcome the public to come out. If they have any questions, come out, walk around, check out the terminal building, see what's here, see how convenient it will be before that first flight. Just get an idea of what to expect.
And the tickets are being booked now?
United.com.
United.com. I got mine through travel websites. It's all over the place. Topeka's all over the map because of this deal. So you can really get some great deals on flights and do it here in Topeka as opposed to Kansas City. So we also have a little cafe in here as well, right?
Right.
And
right.
There has been, it's not just been closed down here for years. You guys actually have had business travelers, and tell us a little bit about how that.
Well, there's a lot of different pieces to an airport and how it operates. Millionaire is the fixed base operator here at Forbes or Topeka Regional Airport. And what they do is accommodate the transient aircraft that come through, whether it's for business or cargo operations or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we are the primary movement facility for Fort Riley. Mm-hmm. So we have a new U.S. Army facility here on the field. We do charter operations through here, whether it's for military or the junkets that head to Vegas or out west to just as a public charter fly through this airport. So we have without the airline involved, we have about 10,000 annual enplanements.
Oh, wow.
Not counting what we hope to draw with the airline.
Wow. And it really opens it up to everyone in Topeka. It really has a facility that they can use and a convenience that they can use, and this is really exciting.
It is, and the more we use it, the more we'll be able to grow it.
Yeah.
Think about what this place looked like not too long ago, and it's not just about what you see, it's also the fact that you can see it.
Yeah.
The lights in the parking lot, we have those all repaired now. The lights in this terminal building, every bulb has been fixed or replaced. Every piece of the electrical for that has been replaced. The roof has been replaced. There's a huge expense that we didn't see because we did this with our own staff. Mm-hmm. So all of the carpeting that our staff put in, now we didn't do the upholstery, mm-hmm. but we tore down the seats, dismantled, sent them off, they were reupholstered, we brought them back and reassembled and placed them here. All the painting, that was our maintenance staff that completed that as well.
Looks really good.
We saved a lot with our maintenance staff being able to do this work, and it's a fantastic job.
Now, aside from me and anybody else being able to get a ticket here and fly off and that obvious convenience, what does this airport do for Topeka? How does it help us as a community to grow?
Well, you look at travel and tourism. This is now, as you said before, a destination. You can get here. It's not a stop in Kansas City in a rental car for that 75-mile drive. You can fly directly here, which will make the travel a little easier. Once you're here, you fly in on United, you'll have a rental car available here. All of this helps our economy. If you think about all of our Topeka residents or the Topeka area residents, they travel to Kansas City, they travel through Kansas City. A couple of years ago, they part of our market study, identified that we spent $127 million a year at the Kansas City airport. That's the Topeka community.
Yeah.
Bring that back. And the way we bring that back is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Bring the air service back. As we grow that number that we're spending in Kansas City is a little smaller.
Well, and I've always thought
And what we do here is better.
if we're trying to recruit quality employers to Topeka,
That's another one.
We have to be easily connected for business travel as well. I mean, that's a really important.
I met with a new business not too long ago. I asked if there were anything I could do for them. And this is before we made our announcement. The only thing they asked me to do, get air service here. Here we are.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to new business. That means a lot to all business.
Yeah.
But to attract new business, this will look very good.
Yep. We're a big player, Topeka, so come out here and check the airport out, and then next time you travel, be sure to fly Topeka Regional Airport to your next destination. Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate you talking with us.